But which one of those duos, gents, is under the most pressure? We love asking this question. I literally hate this question more than any other, but Kyle, what do you got?
They're all under pressure, but I'm going to go to what you referenced earlier, Kay. Earlier in the show, we did a draft of AFC teams we think could win the AFC title this year. We went around the table. It was a snake draft. Let me show you how it worked. Bring it up right now. This is earlier in the show. The four of us did this. Starting in the upper left corner, Peter took the Chiefs as the team most likely to win the AFC. Then Bills, Bengals, Raiders. Now follow me around because it snakes. Raiders, Colts, Chargers, Browns, Ravens. Into the third round, Titans, and then stop. Under Michael Robinson, out of 16 teams in the AFC, we have the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson as the 10th. The 10
They would miss the playoffs in that scenario.
Yes, they're out. 10 pick. And they're behind the Raiders, behind the Chargers, behind the Chiefs, last in the AFC West, which is why I do think that the answer is the Denver Broncos for a bunch of reasons. Last week, I think it was Peter was just casually talking about Russell Wilson, and you throw around what we throw around with Russell Wilson, which is, he's a top 5 guy. And I was like, is he a top 5 guy? Is Russell Wilson right now a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Is he a top 3 quarterback in his division? Is he definitely the top anywhere in that division, above anybody? I think Russ has some things to prove. New atmosphere, new teammates, new everything. And he's got to take over this thing where, all Denver needs is a quarterback. We've been hearing that for 7 years. Also in 7 years, they've never beaten Patrick Mahomes. So probably the schedule makers can come out and be like, wow, Broncos at Chiefs is pretty tasty. I like it for that first Sunday nighter. I like it really early in prime time. You lose that game if you're Russ, you're like, dude, what the hell? You're supposed to change everything. We still lose to Mahomes. We could have done that 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That's a lot of pressure, added to which, not only do you have a new head coach, you have a first-time ever head coach in Nathaniel Hackett, okay? Never high school, never college, and everybody loves him. And he's got this amazing personality that I think actually has been kind of lost because we've been so into Mike McDaniel and how quirky he is. Nathaniel Hackett's an amazing dude. Everybody loves him. Look, the list is long of really well-loved assistants and coordinators who get the big gig and you never hear from them again. And those guys did not jump into an AFC West that had Mahomes and the Raiders and Herbert. Like, it's that thing. Be careful in that AFC West. Like, you can go 5-12 like that, and your head's going to be spinning. So a lot of expectations for Russ to be the savior. A lot of expectations for Hackett to be everything says he is. It's tough. That's going to be a very hard division, and you cannot show up this year and be a 7-win team if you're Denver Broncos. You just can't. High stakes, new changes, a lot of good players in the division. It's going to be very difficult for
Triggs, Hackett, Rodgers loves him. His wife loves me. We love him as a personality. You got to talk to him. I've never met him. Does he have what it takes to compete with the Andy Reids of the world?
We'll
and
see.
the McDaniels of the pedigree?
Again, great assistant coach, one of the great play callers of the last few seasons with Rodgers, but he's never been the main guy in a room, and his staff is very young. And
What's the read you get from him, though?
That the players love him, and he relates to players in an amazing way. But
like Freddie Kitchens?
All that stuff is fair, though, Kyle.
I know.
There's been a million assistant coaches who are beloved, and then they get the head coaching job, and we're not sure. So we'll see.
And they're going to have to get used to Russell Wilson's playing style, too. Again, a lot of those explosive plays come from broken plays, right? The second part of the play, scramble drills and things like that. But I'm going to go to an NFC team, coach-quarterback combination under the most pressure. I know it's going to sound a little funny, but I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles and Tom Brady. And I know we're talking about the GOAT. I know we're talking about Todd Bowles, who's regarded as probably one of the best defensive minds in the game of football. But this team was in a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They got close last year. They lost in a divisional round to the eventual Super Bowl champions in the Los Angeles Rams. With Tom Brady saying, I'm going to retire, okay? I lost and I'm going to retire. But the last time we saw him on the field, he was mounting a furious comeback from the Rams. I could argue that if they had 10 more minutes left, Brady comes away with a win in the divisional round last year. So you bring the band back together, and now the expectation is that the Buccaneers are on top of the NFC. And it's not like Bruce Arians. This is the really intriguing thing for me. It's not like Bruce Arians retired and is completely out of the building. There's going to be guys that loved Bruce Arians as the head coach. Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles are two different personalities. I know they've been connected in a lot of different ways, but Todd Bowles is an entirely different personality than Bruce Arians. And what happens when this team meets some type of adversity? And some players on this team thinks, oh, maybe things will be different if Bruce Arians was the head coach. And, Bruce Arians right upstairs. I want to go talk to him. See, that's when I think Todd Bowles being the head coach and all the pressure on Tom Brady and this Tampa Bay Buccaneers could be very interesting because, again, I do think there's a faction of that team that loves Bruce Arians. And Todd Bowles is a different personality. How does that dynamic play out? If they meet some adversity, I'm telling you, stories are going to be coming. They're going to be coming out.
Brady also has a no-trade clause. He has a no-franchise tag clause, meaning next year he could be out, and then Bowles is now the head coach of it. And it's like, how did we, 1 year window, basically.
Yeah.
Like, go win, Todd Bowles. And Brady's an interesting name for my team, the Miami Dolphins. I think Mike McDaniel and Tua are an interesting combination, and McDaniel has been speaking the world of Tua, and I think Tua is going to love having Mike McDaniel coach him. Tua needs to win now. Like, this is year 3 now for Tua. They got him the weapons. Tyreek Hill is there. Jalen Waddle is there. That's a first-round pick, and that is a huge trade piece that they made. They also have Raheem Mostert now in the backfield. They got Chase Edmonds on that team. Like, they've got the offensive weapons, and now they've got the offensive mastermind coach. What if Tua's not good this year? What if he can't reach Tyreek Hill? What if he can't do all the things that they are expecting to do with this mastermind, and they're limited because of Tua? Well, then we enter next year, and guess who might be a free agent? Tom Brady. Guess who might be a head coach that's a possibility to come back? Sean Payton. Guess who's all of a sudden we're back to square one. Now, I don't think they're going to fire Mike McDaniel after year 1, but I promise you this, they expect to win with Mike McDaniel in year 1, and they made that trade for Tyreek Hill to do that. They mortgaged a lot of their future to get a number 1 option for Tua to go with Jalen Waddle. Like, they got to win. So when you say pressure, it might not be job for the coach, it might be for the quarterback, but I also think it's like for the organization as a whole. And meanwhile, there's a lot going on with that organization. When you talk about the Brian Flores lawsuit, you talk about other things that maybe the NFL Network, we haven't covered as much because we talk to football here, but there's stuff in the... Winning makes a lot of that go into the background.
Yeah.
Losing and having this disastrous start to the Mike McDaniel thing, it makes all that stuff into the foreground. So Mike McDaniel, it's a lot better off in Miami if they win with what they did this offseason. And for Tua, it's almost like win, or a lot of these Dolphins fans are going to be saying he's just not the guy after 3 years, we know.
Dolphins fans who defend him more than any other core. I mean, Dolphins fans love themselves some too. I went more in your vein of grace period. Most pressure means shortest grace period. I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm not sure, and I'm from there, that if there's not tangible growth, that there's much of a grace period. I don't think Chicago fans know what to make of Eberflus and Getsy, who is, of course, Aaron Rodgers' quarterback coach, now offensive coordinator. We get it. A little bit of a surprise, given Justin Fields and what we need him to do to bring in a defensive coach, in my opinion. So I'm scratching my head a little bit. These fans... I cannot talk about 1985 anymore. I wasn't even around. Like, what are we doing here, Chicago? This is a storied franchise, the oldest franchise. Like, we got to get this going. And this is a fan base that is seeing young quarterbacks have success right away. And Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow in the past 5 years, they desperately need Justin Fields to do something. I mean, the pitchforks were out for Matt Nagy after 1 failed year with Justin Fields, the guy that he and Pace decided to draft. So, is he going to take this huge leap with Getsy? I hope so. If it doesn't work, here's the question. Who are the Bears going to blame? Are they going to blame Fields now, guys? Are they going to blame Eberflus? Are they going to blame Getsy? Are they still going to blame Matt Nagy because he was sort of on the field? Like, who do they even blame? Who are the pitchforks out for? If there aren't signs of tangible growth this season, I'm very worried about Chicago, and I don't think that they've got long in those seats.
They still like to blame Ryan Pace, and that's what they talk about all the time, and that's what the Bears organization is trying to change a lot. The hope I get from the silence from the Matt Eberflus low-profile, low-recognizability thing is the Bears, when they hired Dick Duran is really good teams. Lovey, not a ton to say, not a dynamic guy. We're going to build the defense. We're going to do the O-line. Really good team. So never mind 85. That's ridiculous. But the history, more recent history, sometimes this works out for them.
High skill set for Justin Fields. High potential. We all know it. You got to get the best out of him, and it has to happen.